All right. Welcome, brothers, sisters, lads, legends, boys, girls, all the people in this world to another broadcast. Yes, I'm calling it a broadcast. It's the 26th of the 3rd, 2025. It's currently 5:51 p.m. And that means that it is day 85 of 365, where I upload a video every single day talking to you motherfuckers, talking to you fellas. You know, I've been thinking recently about the fear of the unknown and why we sort of fear it. So, I want to do what I did the other day with my AI-assisted therapy and sort of break down why I think and what ChatGPT thinks about the fear of the unknown. Why do humans think it? Why are we scared, of the unknown? This is what I've written. Let's stray away from the hypotheticals for now. I want to ask you what you think of why you think the fear of the unknown is so powerful, and what are some ways a human could manage their fear of the unknown. I want to explore why I feel fear about new things sometimes. That's a really deep thing to reflect on. Fear of the unknown taps into some of the most primal parts of being a human. Here is why it's so powerful. So obviously you've got the survival instinct. Our brains are wired to avoid uncertainty because in evolutionary terms, the unknown often meant danger. If you didn't know what was rustling in the bushes, assuming the worst kept you alive. The same instinct still kicks in today, even when the danger is emotional or social instead of physical. Yeah, I'm sure we can all relate to that. I'm sure we all feel that, that sort of survival instinct, that spike that happens, the rushing that starts coming up your body. That anxiety, man. You don't know what's going to happen next, and that fucking scares you. It terrifies you because you don't have control. And matter of fact, that is the next point, lack of control. The unknown represents a loss of control. When you don't know the outcome, you can't prepare or you protect yourself. That feeling of vulnerability can be terrifying. It also brings up the anxiety that I was talking about before. I personally feel like anxiety and people that overthink things are trying to figure out a way to, approach a problem, approach something new, something unknown. And your brain sort of goes through everything that it could possibly be or think of, and that's why you overthink those things, to sort of prepare yourself for it. Lord knows I was fucking doing it. I actually, man, if you've watched the other videos, you know that I've sort of talked about this before, but I called everything that happened with me and my ex. Yesterday I deleted photos. I deleted every photo as well. And going through that sort of period in time in my phone, I called everything, bro. So it's pretty good survival instinct sometimes. 3, imagination fills the gaps. When we don't have answers, this is what I just said. Our minds tend to create worst case scenarios. It's easier to brace for disappointment than allow yourself to hope for the best and risk getting hurt. That's actually a really good point. It's easier to brace for disappointment than allow yourself to hope for the best and risk getting hurt. So one of my friends recently bought a car. He's bought a car this week. He's done the down payment. The guy's just getting roadworthy so he can transfer it into his name, etc. Right? And he keeps messaging me every single day, like, man, I'm not going to get this car. I'm so fucking sad because he's not going to be able to drive it today. He has to wait, right? And I essentially told him that exact thing. Matter of fact, let's see what I said. Let's use the receipts. Shit, where was it? Don't expect to have the car. You only hurt yourself. Because expecting. I think this is why I don't have much expectations. I do expect things. I won't lie. Well, not really. I don't. Whenever my girlfriend was going to come over, I didn't expect her to actually do it because I was sick of getting disappointed and, I just stood up, because it hurt a lot, bro, and it still hurt, even though when I expected her not to come, it was more of instead of you're not coming, it's okay, you're doing this again, sort of thing, right? 4, identity threat. Facing the unknown often means confronting who you are. If you don't know how something will turn out, a relationship, a job, a life change, it can challenge your sense of self and your place in the world. Yeah, holy shit. Yeah, what an identity-changing moment it was for me when I found out that she was cheating on me. I was scared. I didn't know how it was going to turn out, and I'm very glad that challenged me in those ways because I feel like I'm an infinitely, like, I know where, like, why I'm here, I suppose. Like, I'm more comfortable in my own skin. Um, I am, like, I'm very comfortable in my own skin, and I don't have to, like, I know I can do it, you know? I'm confident in myself and my abilities to just win. Um, and yeah, does challenge your sense of self and place in the world. I'm going to go into some strategies on how to manage the fear of the unknown. Well, before I actually look at those, I'm going to sort of think about what I do. How do I challenge the fear of the unknown? Honestly, I accept it with open arms, you know? Like, it's coming. That thing will happen. I'm not sure what's going to happen when it does, but it will happen, and I will be okay when it does. You know, it's not going to hurt me. I'm still going to be here, right? Um, not that it won't hurt you, because things will affect you. The other day, um, someone who knows about my situation, with, that I got cheated on, they said that they can't hurt me, and I don't think that's true at all. I think, like, I care about you, right? And that care, that I reckon I can get hurt. um, and the unknown is scary because it's like, well, what is going to happen? And I think shifting that in mentally, like, rather than worrying about what could happen and what will happen, just, you know, I like to think of that it's going to happen, and I will be okay. It will happen. Let it flow. If I keep focusing on me, no matter what this event does to me, I will still be in a better position. So that's the mentality I took through getting cheated on. Like, I will be okay. I'm not okay, right? I'm not okay. I'm very upset at that point in time. But I will be okay. And I need to use this energy to put myself in a better position each day, at least do something productive so that when I become okay, I'm in a better spot than I was. Now let's look at these. How to manage the fear of the unknown. Shift from control to trust. You can't control the outcome. Whoa, that's sort of what I just said. You can't control the outcome of everything, but you can control how you respond. Focusing on building resilience instead of controlling outcomes can reduce that anxious feeling. Sort of what I just said. Trust yourself. Trust the process. Trust that you will be okay, because you will be okay. Number 2, detach from the outcome. Sometimes fear comes from being overly attached to a specific result. Try to see new experiences as learning opportunities rather than fail/pass tests. Detach from the outcome. Detach from the outcome. Yeah. Like, that sort of just, that comes with the expecting of things. Yeah, I feel. When we expect a result, when we expect, my friend to get his car, we get hurt, I suppose. We need to detach from the outcome. Try to see new experiences as learning opportunities. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Ground yourself in the present. Fear of the unknown usually lives in the future. Mindfulness, like focusing on your breath, your current breath, and your surroundings, can help anchor you to the present and make the future less overwhelming. I don't think we need to worry about the future at all. We should be worried about what we're doing right now. As this says, focusing on your breath. What are you doing right now? Like, be present in the room that you're in. Like, I'm in here. This is my room. I'm talking to you right now. I'm talking to the camera. I'm entering this flow state of just speech. And I'm just talking. And that is what I'm doing. I'm grounded in the present. Listening to myself and talking to you, looking at myself, trying to think of things to say, right? 4. What's the worst that could happen? Breaking down the fear into concrete possibilities takes away some of its power. If you can handle the worst case scenario, the unknown loses its grip. That's why I feel I overthink so deeply and overthink every single possible outcome so I can, you know, narrow it down into only these things can happen, because I feel like it's a bit of control. Like I want some sort of control. And as this says, if you can handle the worst case scenario, the unknown loses its grip. And I mean, I didn't want to handle the worst case scenario. I didn't want the worst case scenario to happen at all. Obviously, it was going to happen and it needed to happen because I needed to experience that pain to grow into this fella that you see before you. But yeah, if you can handle the worst case scenario, the unknown loses its grip because like it doesn't really matter. You will be okay. You will be okay. You will be okay. Exposure and small risks. Facing small, manageable unknowns like trying a new hobby or starting a conversation with a stranger helps train your brain to see uncertainty as exciting instead of threatening. This ties back into detaching yourself from the outcome. Because if we see these new experiences, like having a random conversation with a stranger, as learning opportunities rather than pass-fail tests, you know, like it will help train our brains to not be so anxious of the unknown and, you know, what if I get embarrassed? What if this happens? What if that happens? We also need to remember that the news cycle is literally daily. Like for example, this week, the JFK files got released, right? It was basically, I don't know if I should say this on YouTube for like censoring reasons, but it was essentially confirmed that the CIA and the Israeli government had played very big roles in JFK's assassination. And literally within one day, that is gone. Nobody fucking cares anymore. Like, yeah, it was like, hey guys, we did actually do it. You guys were right. Anyway, here's these cool pyramids. We discovered that the pyramids have the Burj Khalifa under them. 900-meter man-made structures underneath the pyramids. Like, that is fucking crazy, to be fair. But people don't care, and you shouldn't either. Not about that, but about just, you know, experiencing new things, trying things out. You'll forget about it in a day. I mean, even if you do embarrass yourself, it's going to be like the conversation at the dinner table that night. They're going to forget about it the next day and go beyond the... Fuck. They're going to go through the daily routines, yeah? Do you feel like your fear of the unknown comes more from a fear of failure or more from not knowing how you'll handle what comes next? I'd say personally... Oh, that's a good one. Do you feel like your fear of the unknown comes more from a fear of failure or more from not knowing how you'll handle what comes next? I'd say personally probably fear of failure, to be honest. I don't like failing. I want to be useful, I want to be capable, and I do not like stuffing shit up. It just makes me feel bad. That makes a lot of sense. Fear of failure taps into that deep need for validation and self-worth. It's not just about the outcome, it's about what failure might say about you as a person. When you feel failure, it's easy to hesitate and hold back because failing feels like proof that you're not enough, or that you're wasting time, that you made the wrong choice, or that you disappointed someone. But the truth is, failure itself isn't what hurts most. It's the story we tell ourselves about what that failure means. Whoa. When you fear failure, it's easy to hesitate or hold back because failing feels like proof that you're not enough. But the truth is, failure itself isn't what hurt most. It's the story we tell ourselves about what that failure means. I'm gonna sit on that for a second. I guess so. I would guess so. I think failure means different things to everybody individually. We all have our own little fears about failing and why we don't want to fail. And I know as a kid I held back a lot. I used to play basketball and I held back a lot because I was scared of failing. I was scared of stuffing up. I was scared of stuffing it up for the team, you know? And it was that story of like I was the one that did it. And that's what I guess stopped me. Do you think your fear of failure comes more from worrying about how others will see you or how you'll see yourself afterward? I know I'll be okay, so I guess I'm more worried about how others will see me. This is what I typed. I said, I guess I'm more worried about how others will see me as I know I will be okay and learn from the mistake. Because it's true. Like, we're supposed to fail as humans. We are built to fail, so we learn, problem solve, and don't let it happen again, right? That's really insightful. If you trust yourself to handle failure and grow from it, then the real fear is tied to perception and judgment. It's that feeling of what if they think I'm not good enough, or what if I become a disappointment. The tricky part is that you can't control how others see you. Side note, everyone has a different perception of who you are. All of your friends, your best friends, your mother, your sister, your partner perhaps, the people at your workplace, they all have a different perception of who you are. But you can control how much weight you give their opinions. People's reactions are often more about their own insecurities and projections than about you. And honestly, most people forget or move on way quicker than we think. Would you feel less pressure if you knew that no one would ever know you failed? Or is it more about wanting to be respected and admired? I would say the first one. I'd feel less pressure if no one could watch me fail. It's like at work and shit, right? I'd be doing stuff and I don't want to fail, so I always go a little bit less is more. I always go a little bit less than a little bit more, and because I don't want people to think I'm stupid. I don't want them to see me fail, so I would say that one. Let's see. This is the last time I will prompt it, and we'll end it there because we're getting to 20 minutes, getting a bit long. That makes perfect sense. It's not the failure itself that's scary. It's the idea of others knowing about it and judging you for it. If no one else knew, it would just be a personal lesson, not a public mark on your identity. Wow. If nobody else knew it, it would just be a personal lesson. That's very true. Not a public mark on your identity, because, people will remember. At workplace, people will remember you fucking up and shit. It is almost like failure feels bigger because it threatens your social standing or how you're perceived rather than how it actually affects your life. Wow, that's very true. That's a tough thing to untangle because the need for acceptance and approval is so deeply human. Do you think the fear is more about disappointing specific people in your life or just about being seen as less than in general? We're not going to answer that. I also would say neither. Do you think the fear is more about disappointing specific people in your life or more about just being seen as less than? It's just seen as a fuck up. Like, I fucked it up. I don't want to be that guy that fucked it up, Anyway, fellas, we're going to leave it there. Day 85 of 365 for an uploaded video. Oh, every single day. Where I talk to you, I converse. We have fun, don't we? Talk about some real shit sometimes. When are we going to talk about something fun? I'll try and talk about something fun tomorrow, day 86. Something fun. That's what I'm going to call it, no matter what I say. Alright, fellas. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for watching, as always. Peace. 1 second, the fucking weather came up again.